Hello. I am Nikole and welcome back to the channel. Now, we are here to get into the 25 singles, albums, and moments of the year. So let's run it back on 2022. Y'all, we got way more R&B craziness to get into. One of the songs that instantly became a favorite of mine this year was On God by Tiana Major9. Tiana Major9 is one of those R&B artists that I definitely feel like is slept on a lot. I feel like her and Ari Lennox are doing a great job of ushering back in the notes of early 90s R&B music, especially Tiana. I feel like everything she writes is very relatable, and when it comes to the production, she uses a lot of early 90s hip-hop / R&B reminiscent of Lauryn Hill, but also always mixes it with some form of like a string instrument, like a Spanish guitar or a harp, that I feel like is specific to her style, and I really enjoy it. All of those things can be heard on God. Now, we'll be honest, Giveon is not one of my favorite R&B artists, but you have to give credit where credit is due. Now, he's only not my favorite because it's just that his tone is just a little too unique for my liking. But when it comes to his writing, the pictures that he was able to paint on his debut project, Give or Take, was very impressive. Now, when it comes to debut projects, especially after you've already been introduced to us with EPs or big songs, I'm personally always wondering, what is the actual album gonna give? Giveon stayed on brand, obviously, with the relationship topics, but he added a bit of a familial aspect, which made it seem like he was letting his fans in on his day-to-day life, getting to hear conversations from his mom and other people in his life. Making it feel like your fans are actually able to get to know you on a debut project is something that I always feel is kind of important for longevity. Two of my favorites from the project were Lie Again and At Least We Tried. If you watched my BET Awards episode, which unfortunately had to be exclusively for Patreon due to copyright, I was eating him up due to that little auto-tune flub. But honestly, that whole week was a flop for male R&B. The last Verzuz Battle Swiss Beats and Timbaland gave us went out with a bang with Omarion versus Mario. Now, the way I can sum up this Verzuz battle is that basically Omarion got embarrassed and Mario had something to prove. Between Omarion's antics, watermelon, and the missing of the notes and the continuously getting naked and wardrobe changes, I don't know what he thought this was. That was worse than Teddy Riley's verses. Way worse. But if you viewed that Verzuz battle live, you were saved consistently by Mario displaying some pretty pristine vocals and throwing shade. Now, the music that Omarion and B2K made, I think will always have a special place in all of our hearts just because of nostalgia. Like, these were our celebrity crushes in middle school and high school, and we just thought they was the finest, most talented thing there ever was. But the whole situation had me thinking that maybe this is where the breakdown in R&B happened, because that pre-show was a mess. We had Ray J, Bobby Valentino, Sammy, and Pleasure P of Pretty Ricky. Yeah, I think the later 2000s is where labels was like, we don't really have to get people with like all of the talent. We just put the machine around them. Because what I remember listening to on these CDs is not what I saw during that Verzuz pre-show. It's no longer authentic or organic. Like, because I think like Verzuz, after every Verzuz, everybody's streams go up. Clearly did not happen with this one. And yeah, I feel like everybody now, since they saw that that was the result of Verzuz, they're just so hungry and greedy. It's like they use it not as a way for the fans to just enjoy them. It's like, okay, it's like it's like a young person like just so thirsty for they come up, and it kind of just is like a ill, and it puts their personality on a on a larger platform, and it's like, wait, why you? Now I'll give it to them. A few of those artists that was on that stage tonight actually do deserve their credit and their place in R&B because they affected culture. But I just wish some of them would have lasted a little longer because them vocals just made me sad. That was a really hard versus to watch from the top to the bottom. But one thing I've learned about myself is that I am very picky when it comes to male R&B. All right, y'all, that is it on this episode. Drop down in the comments and let me know, are you guys tapped into Tiana Major9 yet? And also, how are y'all feeling about the state of R&B, specifically male R&B? I know we got albums for Lucky Day and Giveon, and of course, our underground people like Keon Dixon, but who are some other R&B male artists that you're really listening to? Y'all already know what to do here on YouTube. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next drop. And we will be back with more singles, albums, and moments from 2022. See you in the next one. To me, it was the R&B version of Mr. Morale by Kendrick Lamar. I just love the fact that, I don't know, it reminded me of like all the hood dude videos where all they dudes be in the back and they beaters and they be smoking weed. But you don't ever really get to see female rappers do videos like that. I just don't understand why it was so important for her to keep talking trash. Now you gotta pay somebody $4 million